Attention, this is your captain speaking. I'm Eva Moriali.
I'm Julia Moser. Prepare for takeoff.
This is I Couldn't Help But Wander.
The show to get trivia, tips, tricks, and juicy tidbits from all around the world.
The show that asks, if you were trapped on a Disney cruise with one character, which one would it be?
The show that asks, is it really the most magical place on Earth if it's in Florida?
We're talking Disney!
Woo! All right.
Technically, there's two. Yeah.
There's two.
Well,
That's
yes,
true.
there's two. But I want to hear about your relationship with Disney because I feel like people that aren't born and raised in California have like a wildly skewed version of it. And like when I moved here, I felt ripped off because Disney World is like Disney jacked up on steroids. Like it's incredible. And
Yeah.
I would tell friends, I'd be like, oh yeah, let's go on this ride. Let's do this. And they're like, they don't have that here. There's no Animal Kingdom. Like, what are you talking about? There's no Epcot. So I feel like it's like the more rinky-dink, old-fashioned town square.
Yeah. It was way more casual for us to go to Disney. It used to be cheaper. It used to be much cheaper. My mom grew up, I think Disneyland was built in 1956, I want to say. And my mom was my mom was born.
She was born there.
She was born I'm not going to give an exact year, but in that range. Yeah. She's around the same, a little bit younger than Disneyland.
She looks great, by the way. She looks amazing. Yeah.
But Disneyland was like, she grew up going, and I think it used to be like literally $5 to get in or something insane. So she grew up going all the time. And so she knows like all of the secret passages. Like there's in Disneyland, you can get like there are, hallways and doors, and it's possible that they've like blocked them off now. Mm-hmm. But you used to be able to like shortcut through different lands, and she knows them all. Because she grew up going all the time. So, yeah, it was definitely a much more casual relationship.
And I feel like Disney is not only just like this cultural phenomenon. Now it's like there's lore. It's tied to all the movies.
Yeah.
It is cost prohibitive now. It's not like a standard vacation. It is like a big deal when a family gets to take a trip to Disney, and it's like the apex predator of theme parks, if you will.
I'm curious. Okay, I've been lately feeling defensive of Disney adults.
Oh,
what do you
like?
Yeah, I just
get behind me.
Okay, they're just like perpetually shat on.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say, listen, is it how I would spend all of my money and spare free time? No. But I'm like, let people enjoy things,
There's worse things to enjoy as it becomes increasingly more obvious every day.
Exactly. They found something that brings them joy.
Do you know what? When you really like talk and unpack to Disney, because we actually did an article recently on the site that was the Disney adults that go to Disney at least once a week. Mm-hmm. And and so they have the annual pass.
Okay.
And the annual pass, like you might as well go at least once a week because when you work out the cost per visit, it's cheaper than even going like once a month or something. Yeah. So like they milk it. And you get all these freebies and extras and line skips and all, so you might as well just do it if you're a big Disney fan. And it seems so obvious, like it's a low-hanging fruit, like slam dunk thing to joke about them, but people have like this purity in their heart surrounding Disney, and it really is like, it reminds me of being a child. This is like emotionally healing for me. Mm-hmm. This is my therapy, and it's a sense of like calm and reassurance in like a crazy world. Like if it sparks joy, live, laugh, love, baby,
Yeah.
And also our guest this week, I think really like shined a light on
Absolutely.
the Disney of it all and why it's so exciting and fun, and shed some light on it.
Yeah, it's just like it's a consistently like if you want a trip that like if that's your thing and it's gonna make you happy
and the kids like it, it's a family thing. Yeah. So
although we'll get into that with our guests.
That's actually true. We'll get into that.
It's not always a family thing.
But all that being said, would you go to Paris and Tokyo and stuff? No, really? You don't want to go to Tokyo Disney?
Well, I do want to go to Tokyo. Again, I'm like, God bless. I think if I lived in Tokyo, if I were a Tokyo resident, I would feel the way about Tokyo Disney the way I feel about Disneyland here. But like, I, as an American who has a Disneyland in my, an hour away.
I don't know Disney adults. I don't know if Julie's on your side anymore.
I just said that I was defending you. Well, should we?
I'm not one. Anyway,
well, we'll be right back.
We should, move things along.
Yes, after the break, we're going to be talking about Disney travel with our magical expert, Lauren Passell.
Today, we're talking to Lauren Passell. Lauren is the founder and CEO of Tink Media, a podcast growth and ideas company that specializes in podcast PR and a certified Disney travel expert. Lauren even wrote the Cerca travel guide to Disney World, which you can check out in the Cerca app. That's Cerca. Lauren, welcome.
Thank you for having me to talk about my favorite thing of all time. So excited to be here. I named my company after Tinkerbell.
Okay. So how did you become a Disney person? Was it just like childhood on? Like, what is your relationship with Disney?
I went to Disney World when I was 5 with my parents, and we didn't have a ton of money. And I remember thinking, that was my trip. That was it. And I don't think I went again until I was 13. And that's when my family had a little bit more money. We could start going a little bit more frequently. And so I kind of didn't go when I was little. But when I was 13, that's when I really, really, really started getting into it. So making up for lost time.
Yeah, absolutely. What other, have you gone to like the parks like outside the country now and like the cruises? Like tell us about your Disney travel.
Oh my gosh, the cruises. I had my bachelorette party on the Disney cruise. The Disney cruise is one of my favorite things to do. I'm taking my daughter on a Disney cruise, her first one in March. And I went to Disney Sea in Tokyo last year.
Fun.
Oh my God, that's wild. What are the cruises like? Like, is it a typical cruise experience?
I mean, if you read the trades like I do, you know that the Disney cruises, Disney's like a little less evil, like in their cruise, like for the environment.
Okay.
Because I get back, like people do not like that I like the Disney cruises. They're like, it's, not good for so many reasons. I don't think the Disney cruise is Disney enough, if you ask me, because it's a really nice cruise. Like the rooms are a little bit bigger. It's beautiful, but I want like more like scream in my face Disney everywhere. There's not as much of that. There are characters everywhere, and they have these nightly performances, Broadway level performances. I don't know how these people are like frolicking on the stage while the ship is moving. Sometimes I get a little nervous for their safety, but yet I'm enjoying myself so much. I cry every single time. Every time. I've seen some of them multiple times. They're so moving. They're so good. They have their own private island in the Bahamas, and it goes there. And when you go snorkeling, they've built like Finding Nemo and Mickey treasures like at the bottom. There's all this stuff to explore.
Disney has a private island?
Yes, this is a thing. We've done a story about this. There are several cruise lines that own private islands, and they take you to their private island when you're on that cruise, depending on where you are in the world. Yeah, it's a thing. Money. They have God money. All cruise lines have God money, which is why they're just throwing people off of the ships. Allegedly. Cut that for time. Disney wouldn't kill anyone, right? Right?
Oh, right. They literally won't kill anyone, right? Because if someone dies on Disney World, they have to move the body. Isn't that true? Okay,
What?
now I'm starting rumors.
Yeah, wait, I've heard this.
Okay.
I've heard this. That they don't want anybody to die at Disney World.
So if you're like near death, they're like, get this person out of here.
Shut up. You cannot say you died at like time of death, Disney, 12 o'clock Disney.
I think they try real hard to make sure that hasn't happened.
Oh, this is some fun trivia, which we'll get into later.
I feel like there's also stuff about like Disney jail too, right?
Disney
like
jail, Disney jail.
Yeah, like
I don't know anything about it. But.
If you get caught I've heard the strangest things where people have accidentally picked up something and they have to go back to Disney jail. I've heard things. See, now I'm just making up trivia.
I know. I'm just spreading lies.
This is not a news podcast. We can say whatever we want. Allegedly.
I mean, earlier we were discussing we love a good gossip. So
yes.
I mean, I also heard that if you're not like if you work there, because I also almost became a cast member. I went and auditioned, and
For what?
I just thought I'd show up and they'd be like, well, she kind of looks like Tinkerbell. Let her, hire her.
You do.
And that's not, thank you. That is not how it works. It was like, there were like 300 people there and they were all wearing like gym clothes. And I was wearing like a hoop skirt. My eyelashes I was like all jazzed up. And my mom, am I allowed to swear in this podcast?
Yes.
Yes.
We welcome it.
Everyone else looks like shit compared to you. You're going to kill it. And I get there and someone in line goes, it's going to be really hard to do the dance number in those heels. And I was like, the dance number? What? It was 3 hours of like, I was doing like disco to It's a Small World. It was like real auditioning, acting exercises, and there were like 300 people. I was one of the last 3. I'm not joking. It really was just because I'm short. You have to be short.
Yeah.
The tall people got kicked out right away. And the funny thing is, I was like, I had a job in New York and a boyfriend in New York at the time. I didn't really think I was going to get it, and I was like, I actually can't like move here and quit my job. So I didn't do it, but I had become Facebook friends with the other girl who took the Tinkerbell job. And they wanted me to be Tinkerbell's friend, one of Tinkerbell's friends. And so my entire life, I've been following her adventures through the park. And it's been kind of killing me because it's like, it all could have been.
Like the life not lived.
Yeah. Sliding doors.
I could have been Elsa. Yeah. Anyway, that's not why we're here. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, no, but that's fascinating. So do you audition for like a specific part?
No, they're like, they just think about what they would need you for. So there was a really, really short person there that got Mickey because you have to be so short to fit in those costumes. Basically, if you're short, I would audition and see you.
Yeah.
You got a great shot.
Should we get into some trivia?
Let's get into some trivia.
I've been delaying, but let's do this.
Okay. Disneyland's opening day on July 17th, 1955 was basically the original Fyre Fest. They ran out of food and drinks, there were counterfeit tickets sold, leading to unexpectedly large crowds, and it was so hot that day that people's shoes got stuck in the asphalt. Which actor co-hosted the festivities? Was it Marilyn Monroe, Ronald Reagan, Bob Hope, or real-life Princess Grace Kelly?
I think it was Grace Kelly.
Sadly, that is incorrect.
Oh my God.
It was ruiner of everything, Ronald Reagan.
No way.
It was Ronald Reagan when he was just like an actor. They're like,
when he was an actor.
It's
before he was governor, even. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What happens if we get them all wrong? Like, I know that most trivia.
A lot of people get them all wrong.
If you get them all right, you get a prize. But do I have to give you something for my home or something? Like, do I have to give you a prize?
You have to take us to Disney. Take us to Disney.
Hey,
yeah.
All right.
Let's just do that. We should just do that.
We should just do a Disney trip anyway.
Because I want to go to Disney with like a Disney Pro. Like, I feel like that's the way to do it.
Oh my God.
Like, not blindly.
We didn't even get into this. Like, I had a bullet point to ask you, like, what are your top Disney, as a Disney travel expert, like, if you're giving, essential pieces of advice to someone who's going for the first time, what do you tell them?
Someone's going for the first time? Whew. Oh my gosh. I mean, I would say for the first time, I would only plan 1 or 2 things you really want to do every day. Okay. And nothing more, because you have like let things happen.
Disney.
Like you really don't want to be too planny. But take your dinner reservations extremely seriously. Those absolutely, the second you're allowed to make them, be on the phone because they will sell out so fast. Wow. And I guess another piece of advice, if you can, stay on the park at least once in your life, if you can, because it's so worth it. I know it's way more expensive, but it's like such a extremely different experience if you get to stay in the park. Oh, and I would say the best place to see the Magic Kingdom fireworks are actually at the California Grill at the Contemporary Resort.
Oh, okay. That's a hot tip. I love that.
And there's the app now, right? You have to get the app.
I don't like it. Yeah. Because, I don't like that it seems like what if your mom didn't have the latest phone, whatever, you couldn't just and also I'm on my phone all the time. I don't want to be on my phone. And they charge extra now it costs my family like $100 to go on Space Mountain. So
that sucks.
Honestly, right now, here's my other hot tip. The cruise for me is less expensive than actually going to the park.
Ooh, wow. And then you get a cruise too. You get a good cruise. Oh, that's a hot tip.
I think right now there's a lot of changes going on at Disney World, and I think things might return to normal a little bit more once, like, I think that, since Iger's back, I think he'll put some more things into place that were from the earlier days. But right now, they're letting too many people in. They have too many upcharges. The cruise is simple. There's nothing to pay for, really. You get there, it's expensive, but really
once you're on it,
once you're on it, if you really did the math, I think I would that's my other tip, I guess. Do the math and look at the cruise first. It's really fun. And if it's even close, go on the cruise.
Ooh, okay. Love these hot tips.
All right, we have another trivia question. Couple Scott and Diana Anderson were kicked out of Disney's notorious Club 33 after paying $50,000 annually for the elite Disney Insider Club. What were they kicked out for? Was it A, selling exclusive merchandise on the black market? B, taking selfies with celebrity members? C, public drunkenness? Or D, taking bribes for membership access?
Okay, I kind of hope it was A, but I don't think it was, but that'd be really fun. But I think it was probably B.
Taking selfies with celebrity members?
No, now that you say it out loud, no. D.
Taking bribes?
Yes.
It was public drunkenness. I was trying to be like...
That seemed too obvious.
But okay,
I thought you'd get it because it feels obvious based on the rules of Disney and like, don't die at Disney, don't chew gum at Disney,
But here's my question about the public drunkenness of it all is like, because you used to not be able to drink at Disney, and like in more recent years, they've like been trying to cater to like childless millennials, right? So now there's like all of these places you can drink. Is Club 33? Is there alcohol? Like what? I don't know. What's your take on all that?
I have a bunch of tea on Club 33, but I want to hear what Lauren knows about Club 33 and all the drama.
I assumed that drinking, I just always assumed that was okay at Club 33. Like, I thought that was kind of like separate from, it must have been really bad. Did you get any details? Was there public urination?
No, they did a full interview. Okay, so this couple is crazy. They sued Disney unsuccessfully, and when they did, because they wanted was to get back in the club, and when they didn't win, they spilled all the tea. They did a huge interview with Variety, and it's hilarious. And I'll send you the link. It's so funny. They own a golf course, so that's how they have just disposable income to spend $50,000. They didn't expect it to be that much, but they had saved up. But they said it kept getting more and more expensive, and you had to pay for more and more stuff. And surprisingly, the other three things, other people never got kicked out for. So there were people that went in, bought a bunch of exclusive merch, sold it on eBay. There were people that took selfies. They even tried to subpoena Rebel Wilson because she got in trouble for, she got temporarily kicked out or on probation for taking selfies in the bathroom and taking selfies with like Mickey in Club 33, which you're not supposed to do. Tom Hanks is a member, and like one time they were all eating dinner and the manager came out.
He played Walt Disney in that movie.
Of course. So, they probably gave him like free membership for life.
And he was Woody.
And he was Woody, true. He's like a Disney like elite. But one time they were eating dinner and like the manager comes in and is like, you guys got to go. Tom Hanks is here and we're catering for his like entire family in Club 33. Katy Perry tried to give away like to Make-A-Wish Foundation like membership, which you're not allowed to do. So they did an interview and like exposed all the things. They lost their case and they just want to be let back in. Like they're very bitter about it.
Well,
but what happened was
never getting back in.
Never. You're allowed to drink as much as you want at Club 33. And the husband claims that he had only had like 2 glasses of red wine and he has chronic migraine, and he went out into like, wherever, because I think Club 33 is where like Walt's like make fake apartment is with the everlasting light or whatever. Which, Lauren, you can get into. Like, I don't know the lore behind that. But he walks out of, like, the Club 33 area and was, like, hunched over a park bench. And park security came by and was like, what's going on with you? And he had no ID on him, nothing but, like, his club membership card. So they called the manager and they kicked them out. And that's why. But he was like, I had a migraine. I wasn't drunk.
That is such a good story. With like every single element. Like,
it's insane. I know.
And
it's
I want
incredible.
to know everything. It's going to haunt my dreams.
I know. I'll send you the article, but it's a treat. They're delusional and amazing and exactly what you want out of Club 33 members.
I mean, the thing is, before Disney World, you didn't used to be able to bring alcohol in, as you mentioned. And so but because they didn't have alcohol, it was like Chaser Island because they had all these other non-alcoholic drinks, like tons to make up for it, like pineapple smooth. So my mom and I would just bring nips and like go into the bathroom.
Genius.
Oh my God.
Genius. What are your favorite Disney snacks and eats and drinks?
I think one of the best things is the Dole Whip in Disney World.
It's good.
And it's vegan, I just learned.
Good to know.
I think it's like accidentally vegan. Like they weren't trying to make it vegan.
Okay.
I was just going to say, on the like subject of alcohol in Disney, my big pitch for them, and I think it's like crazy that they haven't done this, is that the Tiki Room should be a tiki bar.
Oh, it's
right?
not?
Yeah, it's not. It's just a room where they sing at you, and then you have. I haven't even sung the song, and it's stuck in my head now.
I didn't know that. I've never been to the Tiki Room.
That is really strange. I bet that's coming. I bet we're gonna. I bet that's about because they didn't
have to be.
No, but they might be so precious about it, like because that's an Walt original. There's so few rides that he like actually dreamed because he wasn't alive when it opened. So there's so few things he had his hands on. Maybe they're too precious about it. But there are tiki bars. But that's interesting. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's restaurants that I love. The other thing is, I have to say, when I go for myself, it's more of an adult trip. I have a 11-month-old daughter, so that will soon change. But there are really good restaurants in Disney World.
What are your where do you go?
There's this restaurant called Chico in the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is African food, and they have the best wines there. It's like it's just a lot of good like hearty African food.
Sounds amazing and unique. I don't think people don't talk about that. Like, ever. That's great.
But the hotels I think the hotels have the best food if you want like adult experiences. There's a place called Citricos in the Grand Floridian, which is just it's more of an adult, beautiful restaurant, but it's fun to be there. But then there's certain restaurants that I go to just for fun. There's something called the Sci-Fi Dine-In, which I love going with my mom. So maybe just for like a milkshake or something. But like, you go in, it looks like you're in a drive-in movie theater. It's indoors, but it looks like it's night. And I've
been in that one.
They play like Attack of the 50-Foot Woman in old movies, and you sit in a car and you eat in a car, and your waitress is on roller skates. And to me, like when people ask my favorite foods, I'm always like, the food. I'll just go for how it's presented to me. I'm not there necessarily for the best food ever. I'm also a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan, but I'm a vegetarian. So I'm really there. Like I will go anywhere for the fun.
So interesting. Okay, we're getting all these hacks and tips.
This is our last question.
Okay. You're almost out of your misery.
So we did ask this question or a version of it on our haunted travel episode, but because it's related to spooky things. But I want to see if you could do any better. Okay. So Paul Frees, the voice actor who is the iconic ghost host of the Haunted Mansion, he also voiced this iconic food mascot. Is it A, the Pillsbury Doughboy, B, Fruit Loops spokesbird Toucan Sam, C, the farmer who helps the little green sprout who called out to the Jolly Green Giant, so what's new besides ho ho ho, Green Giant? Or D, all of the above?
Oh, man. Okay.
I'm sending you the answer telepathically.
I think I'm going to say all of the above because I know that he did so much. Okay.
Yes, you did.
You got it.
I was trying trying
I
to
knew
like
he did a lot of stuff. I knew he did tons. And then I was like, you were reading C, and I was like, either it's C is involved here, or you guys are wildly, because the detail of writing that.
We're crazy. Yeah,
I mean, it's a copy and paste from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. I'll donate my $2 or whatever.
I love it. I love it.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, it's time to talk about a little quandary.
Ooh.
And we're back. So we looked into some Disney-related quandaries, and similarly to what we were talking about earlier, Disney facilitates a lot of anger when it comes to planning.
Just like
and
family
stress,
drama.
Family drama.
You search Disney in the Am I the Asshole Reddit, and it's like so many things.
This subject has given us our most fodder, I think, in terms of, am I the asshole? Is this a real problem? Is this not a real problem? Do I do this? Do I do that? So we're very excited. We actually have 2 ideas to float your way, and I think one is especially relevant as you're talking about. You're going to take your daughter on her first Disney adventure, the cruise. So let's hop into it. Juliet, you want to present the first one?
I'll start with the Am I the Asshole? So, okay, we sort of got into this a little bit, but the question is, am I the asshole for making a set list of rules for a Disney trip? And it's every single year, me and my 2 sisters take a girls' trip to a random location. This year was finally my turn to plan a trip, so I decided to book a trip to Disney World for 10 days. My sisters were really excited about the trip, and so was I, but the booking process took a while. Plus, it was pretty costly. Well, we're leaving in a week, and I've created a set of rules for the trip. For example, no sleeping in past 8 a.m., wear sneakers only, etc. I sent my sisters this list today so they could know what to expect. They didn't take it too well and said that I was being over dramatic and this wasn't necessary. I told them that this was definitely necessary to get the best experience out of Disney World, and we got into an argument, and now they're saying they don't want to go on the trip anymore. I thought making this rules would make things easier for everybody, but maybe I was being a bit dramatic. Am I the asshole? What do you think?
Oh, I feel for her because she really wanted to do it right. But yeah, you're the asshole. Everyone has to do their own thing.
Also, you got into this with not planning more than 2 things. No. I think it becomes then not a vacation. It becomes a checklist of things you're doing. Yeah,
and then you're not really experiencing it.
They're on completely different universes. That's fine if she wants to do that. But not everyone has to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. My Disney as an adult, which I've been an adult Disneyer without a child, with just my mom. My mom and I go together. That's our thing. Sometimes we let my dad and my husband come sometimes. But it's been the 2 of us most of the time. And yeah, we'll sleep in, and
because it's a vacation.
Yeah. And maybe sometimes go to the gym in the morning, and that's great. Some people would think that was insane that you would go to the gym or go on a run around the lake or something, and just not go anywhere before, go to the pool and not go anywhere until lunchtime. I don't know. I think,
especially if you're staying, there's you can relax a little bit.
10 days. You don't have to wake up at 8 a.m. every day to squeeze the milk, all full.
Also, if that was my sister telling me to do that, I would be
especially also, you have to wear sneakers. Ooh, I don't. Yeah, she also framed it wrong. She could have just nicely suggested.
Yeah. These are friendly suggestions. And then she could have done, which is my favorite thing to do, be smug and be like, well, I told you so.
Yeah.
Then you could have been in the right then. But
or even said, what if you made a plan for a day and said, hey, I did this research. I think this day would be so much fun. How does it sound to you? We'd have to get up at 8. Is that important to you? How much?
Catch more flies.
One day I don't know. Sounds like this is not the only problem that this woman is having with her sisters.
Yeah.
So, should check her username. Yeah.
Well, yes, Reddit agrees with you. She is the asshole.
Wow.
Glad we solved that. The other question we wanted to float your way is this idea of how young is too young to go to Disney for the first time? Because if you don't remember it, does it matter? Or is it more for the parents? Is Disney actually baby friendly? Which are, all these lofty questions. Yeah.
I think about this every day right now because I haven't been to Disney World because of my daughter, and I blame her. And I was supposed to go in January with we had the trip all planned, and I was like, wait, this is for me. This is not going to be good. I started realizing how not fun it was going to be for her. It's not baby friendly at all.
Really?
Don't bring babies. No, like, my daughter, like, she's not going to, she's going to have to be in her stroller a lot, and she doesn't like that. And she doesn't care about waiting in line for, like, literally not good. Not good. The cruises are better for babies and young children because you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to drive anywhere. It's just everybody's there. I would say if you had a bunch of different kids, the thing is, if you see a lot of families, if there's a 5-year-old and a baby, it's like, yeah, you got to go for the 5-year-old. That's okay. That's what I think it's okay. But for me to bring my baby, that was for Lauren Passell to go to Disney World. That was really selfish. That's why I canceled that trip, because I was like, this is ridiculous. And I think before I used to think 5 was like the perfect age. Like, I think maybe I would say 4, but I really think younger than 4, it's going to be so exhausting and just, I don't know. They're not going to remember it. I think that I might wait until my daughter is 4, which would be really hard for me.
Yeah, but you can just leave, whatever. That's the point of having a husband, right?
Yes.
No,
and a cool
that's
mom.
true.
An awesome mom.
You're so
Yeah.
right.
It takes a village, et cetera, et cetera. No, that sounds like really sound advice. And I think a lot of people would expect that because, it's a place for children, and I'm using air quotes. You can't hear, but I'm using air quotes. That it would be baby friendly, but
no, not at all. It's everything is things that babies don't want to do. That's so funny though. I've never heard of like a mother being like, honey, you have to stay at home so that mom can go to Disney World.
I mean, whatever gets you through, right?
Whatever. When I was a kid, like, we would go all the time. Like, it's not all the time, like once a year. But my mom would pull us out of school because she was like, I'm not going on a day. She's like, I'm not going to wait in line. I'm not going to go on like peak season when it's like summer and everybody's off school. So she'd pull us out on like a random Tuesday.
Fun.
And we thought, we were like, oh my God, this is the best. But later we realized, like, no, it was for her. She didn't want to go when it was like really
my mom
crowded.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
We got a trip. She surprised us Christmas Day, and we went like the day after Christmas, and which is like the way you want to be surprised for Disney World. Yeah. And she told my teachers in advance, so they all knew. And like when we got back, they were like, you guys went to Disney. Like, it was a big deal. It was very sweet.
I can't tell you, I'm not going to be able to keep a surprise for my daughter though. If I'm taking her,
really?
I will not be able to. I was just like the whole time bursting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really when you are a kid and you are being surprised with Disney or told you're going to Disney, it is like a thing.
Overwhelming.
It's crazy. I want one final note in that arena. You know how like when people win like the World Series and they say the first thing they're doing is going to Disney? How did that come to be? I'm just raising the question. Like, did Disney like subliminally message that? Did someone say that for the first time and now it's a thing? Like, how did that happen?
I think once again, gossip, normal Disney gossip. I think that it was a partnership with Disney and the Super Bowl or something, and so they had to say it, but then people just started saying it on their own. That's what
so
I think.
Funny.
No way!
I believe it.
I believe it too.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't you get paid to say it or something?
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. Love it.
Yes, we've come to the end. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Fabulous guest.
Yes. Where can the people find you and your work?
I think my website is tankmedia.co.
Perfect.
And that is where you can find everything about me. I used to be on social media, but when Twitter went away, I really kind of left Twitter. I'm on Reddit a lot, but good luck finding me there. I have a podcast newsletter. That's another good way to just get in touch with me. It's podcastthenewsletter.substack.com. I review podcasts, and I'm going to write about this podcast in my newsletter. So
thank you. Amazing.
Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you for having me. I hope this was fun to research. Wasn't it fun to research?
Very fun.
Was.
And it made me really want to go. Like, I haven't been to Disney in forever, and I was like, oh, I want to go.
Julia, let's plan a trip.
Let's do
We're
it.
doing it.
Lauren, you're invited. Let's go.
Oh my
God. Well, that brings us to the end of another I Couldn't Help But Wander. Thank you again to Lauren for joining us.
And you can find this show wherever you get your podcasts or at cercatravel.com. That is CERCA.
And please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps people find our show. So maybe leave us a comment telling us your favorite Disney ride.
Pirates. Oh, no, Indiana Jones. Oof.
Ooh, Tower Terror. Tower Terror, actually.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Julia Moser with 4 R's. I'm also Julia Moser with 4 R's on Instagram and with 5 R's on TikTok.
And you can find my online and in real life adventures at Eva Pants on Instagram.
Thanks so much for listening to I Couldn't Help But Wonder. We have had an excellent time recording these 8 episodes. We are going to take a little break for the moment, a little layover, if you will.
It's been so fun, Julia.
It's been so fun, Eva.
We've learned so much.
Well, thanks for listening and happy wandering.
Happy wandering.